What's going on? How y'all doing? You already know who it is. Your boy here from the Canes. You know what I'm saying? The local meat driver, the meat driver extraordinaire, etc., etc. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time of the day it is you happen to be watching this. I'm hoping everybody is having a great and productive day, finding some way to make today better than yesterday. Treating today as a gift because that's what it is. Coming back to y'all with another story, you know what I'm saying? Story time with Big Canes, you know what I'm saying? So I had a thought. I was like, I'm gonna stick with the stories because that's what I feel like it's something that's my neck. But how I wanted to do it is I basically wanted to combine both ideas that I had for you know what I'm saying, the videos that I posted. So I'm gonna tell a story and I'm gonna find a way to implement a life lesson at the same time with that. And that's gonna start with this one that I'm recording right now. I know me, I'm a storyteller just naturally. So I feel like this is something that I enjoy doing. So I was like, why not share, you know, shit that I've been through in my life that'll make somebody laugh or such. So, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Stay tuned. And in the meantime, in between time, we're gonna pay some bills. So kick that intro.
I'm out in Sweden this evening, Stockholm this summer, champagning with pretty models that pose while they slumber. You have to see to believe it. Eiffel my tower.
Alright, you know what I'm saying, welcome back. Before we go ahead and get it started and get into this video, I don't want to say, if you enjoy these, you know what I'm saying, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe, you know what I'm saying, click that little bell so you can stay updated to when a nigga posts one of these funny ass little stories, you know what I'm saying. Now that all of that is out of the way, we're gonna get into a story of back when I was a little young chubby fuck and how I used to get bullied all the fucking time. All the time. Like, I was always a big kid, but nobody was scared of me because I was always hanging out with niggas who was older than me. So it's like it was a reoccurring thing. In school, you know, I was cool, you know what I'm saying? I had no problems with nobody, you know what I'm saying, taking to fuck with me, you know, shit like that. I was just a regular kid. I just happened to be bigger than everybody else. But in the summertime, my mama did not want to leave me at home by myself, and she didn't have nobody to watch me. So she put me in summer day camp. So from 8 to 5 o'clock, I would go to a camp with other kids, and when she got off work, she would come pick me up. Growing up, I went to 2 different camps, but I stayed at one longer than the other over time because it was more feasible for my parents and shit like that. So the first camp I went for like a summer and a half or 2 summers or some shit like that. Didn't know nobody there, but it was around like the area that I grew up in. And then once the summer started to kick in, I knew people there because they stayed in the area. So I ended up leaving that camp because, like I said, it was too much for my parents. So they had put me in this little summer camp called Godwin Park. And it was not too far from where I live, but at the same time, it was kind of out of the way. But majority of the people who went there already knew each other. So I just happened to be popping up, you know what I'm saying? Young, fathead ass nigga, 7, 8, 9 years old trying to make friends because obviously I'm finna be around these people. And I've always been the same person that I am now, even then. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very social person, so I like to meet people, you know what I'm saying? Get to know people, etc., etc. So, like I said, I've always been a larger individual. So I might have been like 8 years old, but I was hanging around kids who was 10 and 11 because I looked like I was their age. And they never asked me how old I was. They just assumed I was around their age because of how big I was. Now, granted, to me, I felt like I was normal size. These niggas was just little. But in actuality, the niggas just really large as fuck. So, I was a normal kid. You know, I didn't really get in much trouble in those years. I was just really chilling. all the friends that I had been going to school with them. My parents knew them. I spent the night at their houses. I'm talking about white, black, Asian, Indian, all of that shit. Before I went to public school, I used to go to a charter school, and everybody in the motherfucking school knew each other. Everybody knew each other's parents. So it was really nothing for us to like be cool with each other. But once I got out of the charter school and started going to public school, that's when it was just like, all right, I actually got to, take some time out to get to know motherfuckers. So school was cool. But this goddamn summer camp was hell for my little ass. So I'll never forget. I got around motherfuckers and they was just like, oh, you new? Hang with us. We've been here for some while. We got to exchange the names and shit like that. And they asked me, what school I went to. And I told them. And it was just like, oh, for real, well, we go to, Johnston. This is motherfucking middle school. Now, I was in like the 4th or the 5th grade at the time. About to go to the 4th grade, I presume. So these niggas is just now becoming 6th graders, They middle school, junior high on a bitch. So I get to hanging around these people and, I like to talk about the things that I was interested at the time, a little nerdy ass shit, because I was a little nerd. This is before I turned into the handsome individual y'all see before y'all. I used to look like a chubby version of Jordan from Bernie Mac, but I had the mouth of Gretchen from Recess. So I had these 2 big buck-ass teeth, and them hoes did not touch. I'm talking about SpongeBob Gap on 10, and I was chubby. So I probably was like, I don't know, fucking 4'11", 140 something. I don't know. Like, I was a chubby motherfucker. Like, I had little premature ass titties and all of that shit. So I will never forget, our age group that I hung out with, but I was not a part of, went swimming. And I was never, conscious about my motherfucking body, because all the people I've been knowing been seeing me, no shirt on or some shit like that. So we went swimming, and I couldn't swim, so I really was just playing in the water on some shit. But I was tall, so I could stand, I ain't had to worry about drowning and shit. So we get there, and I'm talking about before I even got in the water, nigga took my motherfucking shirt off, and a bitch went, that nigga got titties. And everybody started laughing, and I ain't know who the fuck they was talking about. And somebody came over with a towel on some funny shit and was just like, Evan, cover them hoes up. We got kids out here. Now, in my young mind, I'm unaware of what they talking about or why they laughing or why this young man got a towel wrapped around my chest like I'm some young female or something. But then everybody starts to point and laugh, and he walked away, and I was just like, I'm not understanding what's so fucking funny. So I watched the girl who happened to be in the motherfucking water is doing this shit with a little tatas or whatever. So I looked down, and I just all of a sudden got real uncomfortable about my breasts, I was just like, everybody sitting here poking fun and laughing at a young nigga in his middies. And I'm just like, oh, no, I don't like it. So, I took off, went to the little bathroom, and I stayed in there until, it was time to go. I didn't want to be bothered. I was like, hey, leave me the fuck alone. All of this shit. So, boom, we leave, I'm sitting in the back of the van, and everybody turning around, calling me little titty boy and shit like that. So, the shit started to take a toll on my young, immature mind, and, I started to feel some type of way. So, over the years, I was just, real sensitive, because I know everybody was making fun of me about certain shit. If it wasn't, my titties, it was my teeth. If it wasn't my teeth, it was my titties. Shit like that. And I used to get really emotional about it, because I never had people to talk about me in the fashion that they was talking about me. So, I used to always get mad and start crying. So, eventually, as I got older, and went from 7, 8 to 9 and 10, I started to get real fucking angry, and I couldn't take this shit no more. So, anytime a motherfucker would laugh at me, I'd get real defensive, and I'd blow up. And I'd be ready to whoop a motherfucker ass, but in the whole time, I'm in this emotional wreck, and I'm crying and shit, like, don't talk about fucking titties, I don't like it, just like a real young bitch, I didn't understand what was happening. I was so fucking emotional, but everybody was always talking about me, and I hated fucking going to that summer camp. Until one day, I just couldn't take it no more, and I just started slapping motherfuckers. And people didn't find this shit as funny once they caught a whiff of this good 10-year-old backhand that I had. You know, these niggas is 12 and 13 years old, and they just kept fucking with me, and I couldn't take it no more. So I said, you know what? Something gotta change. I'm either gonna make these motherfuckers respect me, or I'm just gonna be a bitch to them. And I refused to continue to be a bitch to them. So I started fighting their ass. I started getting in trouble. I started getting my ass whooped. I started getting suspended from the camp. And after some time, you know, motherfuckers got to respecting me. You know what I'm saying? I had to put my foot down and wasn't no more of that bullshit. But over time, eventually, you know what I'm saying, they started to talk about other things. And I grew up a little bit, you know. I started to be able to hang around my siblings more because they were a bit, I was a bit older, you know what I'm saying? I was still with that annoying little brother. And, you know what I'm saying, just going through life, I learned to pick up, you know what I'm saying, and to be comfortable with your body and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna always have something to say about you because nobody is perfect, no matter how good a motherfucker look. Everybody gonna have some type of flaw or something that they deem is, you know what I'm saying, something they can feel uncomfortable about. And I got to the point to where I was just like, you know what, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. They not going nowhere, so I might as well embrace these hoes. So as I got older, you know what I'm saying, people was always just be like, oh, but Evan, you walk around with these big ass titties, and including girls, I'll be like, oh, bitch, you really just mad because my titties bigger than yours. Flat chested ass little girl. So over time, you know what I'm saying, people was just like, oh, Evan really funny than a bitch, y'all. Got him fucked up. Y'all not finna fire off on his ass because he got some heat for your ass. So as I got older and as I got like matured, I really just stopped caring. Like, me personally, I love titties. Like, I'm a breast man, but don't get me wrong, I do enjoy a good fat ass, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people would just be like, oh, Evan, what do you, you know what I'm saying, what do you like? What do you prefer? You know what I'm saying? You prefer you a good rump, or you prefer you some good moon bags? And I say, truth be told, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a breast man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got a couple of my damn self, you know what I'm saying? I like them so much I couldn't get rid of these. You know, and that's really how I always present it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like the most fittest motherfucker, but I damn sure ain't the biggest, you know what I'm saying? I gotta look good, you know what I'm saying? Some nice little B-cup titties, you know what I'm saying? But I was cool with that, you know? Like, I accepted me for who the fuck I was and who I was gonna be. Like, the way I look under clothes don't define who the fuck I am, you know what I'm saying? People who knew me, they knew, oh, Evan that funny ass, generous ass motherfucker with them titties, you know what I'm saying? That's how people remembered who the fuck I was. But they knew at the same time, ain't nothing you could play Evan about because Evan is already comfortable with who he is. And that's something I feel like we as people, you know what I'm saying, whatever we have that's like we consider our fault or some shit, we just got to get comfortable with it. Because if you know, you know what I'm saying, who you are, and you're not worried about, you know what I'm saying, how people perceive you or whatever, can't nobody play you about shit. And it took me up until like the 7th grade, going to the 8th grade when I got braces, that couldn't nobody play me on shit. Because I was just like, all right, I got these titties and I got these motherfucking, these SpongeBobs going on. So then I got braces, and now motherfuckers are just like, oh my God, Evan, you got big, nice ass teeth. And I'm just like, no, I don't. I still got them same SpongeBobs y'all was trying to play a nigga with last year. So y'all can suck my dick. How about that? But I'm basically saying all of that to say, like, anything that you feel like is a flaw of yours, you got to find a way to flip that shit and make it something that you're comfortable with. Because if you comfortable with it, other people going to be comfortable with it too. So me embracing, you know what I'm saying, that I'm a bigger guy, so I have, you know what I'm saying, certain shit on me that other people may feel like, oh, well, that shit really not a good look. You embrace that shit, you know what I'm saying? Can't nobody try to play you for it. Like, I'm a big dude. Like, that's natural, you know what I'm saying? I'm 6'4", 245, you know what I'm saying? Because I done shed a couple pounds, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? Nigga got titties, nigga got stretch marks, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But, you know, The fuck? Who cares? Like, can't nobody ever come at me and be like, oh, this fat ass nigga. Like, okay, your point. I got a gut. I'm gonna make your bitch rub this motherfucker. Like, once you comfortable with who you are, can't nobody ever say shit about you. And that's something that we all as people, because we all have some shit that we feel some type of way about. At the time of me growing up, you know what I'm saying, it was my body. You know what I'm saying? I was not comfortable with my body, so I didn't like to go swimming as a young nigga because I knew motherfuckers was going to let me have it behind that shit. I hated smiling because my teeth didn't motherfucking touch them hoes, came in peace on some shit. So I didn't like smiling. I didn't like opening my motherfucking mouth. I didn't like going swimming without clothes on. Like, I did not want to go to the beach. I did not want to go to the pool. If I did, I'm in that motherfucker with a full shirt on. Like, oh. So as I got older, I was just like, bro, can't nobody, you know what I'm saying, press me about none of this shit. Like, I wake up every morning and look at myself in the mirror and be like, you know what? You are a beautiful individual. You know what I'm saying? I slap a titty, put a shirt on, and keep it moving. Like, I don't care. And I feel like that's how we as people need to get with the shit that we feel uncomfortable with about ourselves. No matter what it is, if it's something that got to do with your body, if it's, you know what I'm saying, your smile, some on your face, just whatever you figure is a blemish, physically, mentally, you know what I'm saying, socially, embrace the fuck out of that hoe, you know what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, the more comfortable you are with yourself, people will be the same, have that same comfort level with you. Like, me and a couple of my cousins was having a conversation one day, and it's like, if you don't believe something, how you expect other people to believe? So if you continue to tell yourself, oh, I'm ugly as hell, don't be surprised when somebody be like, boy, you ugly little bitch. I'm finna fire your ugly ass up. You believe it, they believe it. So once you know what I'm saying, get to the point where you comfortable and be like, you know what, I may be ugly, but I'm still cute in the motherfucker. Can't nobody ever try to play me. You know what I'm saying? Once you get to that point in life, I figure you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Look at me. I'm ugly as hell. And like SpongeBob said, I'm ugly and I'm proud. You know what I'm saying? I got big tig old bitties. And I'm proud of them bitches. Which one of you hoes trying to get your suck on? What is you talking about?
Yeah, man. VO. Back again like we never left. Southern smoke.